Okay guys, so here is my final container full of eggs, and you'll notice some are a little bit redder than others, and I do that on purpose. I will add a couple extra drops, and I always can tell which ones those are. See how these are a little bit redder, these are a little bit more oranger, redder. I like to be able to switch back and forth, and I will label those orangish or reddish, as you've seen in my dye cured recipe. Alright, this is the end of this. We're about to go pack these up in borax after they air dry for probably about 12 hours like this. And 3, 2, 1. Alright folks, these eggs have now been air drying in my borax for about 3.5, 4 hours. And you can see how these are just nice and tacky. You don't have berries falling off of them left and right anymore. There's a few here and there, but not many. They are getting really tacked up. You can see that cure got in between those eggs really well because of the way I juice them up. But we're going to go face down now for a while. A little bit more borax on the top. I'm going to go a total of about 5 or 6 hours, 3 on each side. And then we'll pull these ones out and do the old switch. Okay guys, it's time to cut up some clumps and pack some of these away for freezing. What I like to do, you see you got this skin back here, so I'm going to take this and go right down the middle and cut pieces this direction. I'll have small clumps and large clumps. And these are going to be pretty big, so some of these I might take and cut in half. But the idea here is when you put it on the hook, you want to have 2 pieces of skin, so it folds over like that, and you got this nice gushy, plumpy set of eggs. What I'm going to do is spread these out. When you get to the river, if you got a piece that's this big, you usually trim it down when you're at the river and get 2 pieces out of some of these. I like to decide that at the river. It depends on what I'm fishing. Sometimes I use a small clump and add bait to it, like a coon shrimp. went through this process after air drying them and getting them to juice out, suck up all of our additives back inside and plump back up. Then we layered them in these containers and put them in the refrigerator for 24 hours to get them to tack up like this. But it's important to either freeze them after that so that they don't suck any more juice out of them, or you take them and you do what I'm doing here now, just like I showed you, and you get that borax off there and it'll stop sucking the juices off your eggs. So either freeze them and put them away like this, and then you can just take them frozen in that borax, take them right down to the river and start fishing, or go ahead and take that. If you're going to keep it in the refrigerator for another week or two to use them like I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and just take this borax out, put it in a Ziploc bag, and I can reuse that until it gets really pink, all that white in there. I do have to keep it refrigerated or you'll get stink egg in there. Okay guys, we are back here. Everything's all done. We're ready to fish. So again, I've showed you very close how to make some eggs that are nice and tacky. This is our NWRK1 Northwest Ripon Keepers egg cure with strawberry jello. And these eggs are nice and tacked up for drift fishing, whatever you want to do. If you're bouncing the bottom, egg fishing with the bobber is fine too. But look how nice and tacky these eggs are. You can see how tough they are when you go to pull them and rip them apart. They're just stuck together. Look at that. So these things are going to fish really super nice, yet they're still really nice plump berries. They sucked all the juices in when we did our curing process, and we juiced them out and sucked all the stuff that we put in there. All of our additives went back in those eggs. Now when I bobber fish, I like to use a softer egg, or if I'm drift fishing in really slow water and pretty much just bouncing the eggs, and then we get an egg that's a little bit more like this, a little bit softer. And this egg has gone without the borax curing for 24 hours in the refrigerator with layers of borax like I showed you. I'm going to just take this and cure it, and when I'm done curing it, I store it in here. I'm just going to lightly sprinkle borax on top of it and then put it in here. So there's not as much borax, and you can tell because the borax turned pink. There's no more dryness to that borax to suck moisture out of those eggs anymore. So now those eggs are nice, and you can see how floppy these are, but they're going to come off really easy when a fish mouths it. So you've got to be really good at setting the hook. When these fish are mouthing these eggs, they'll strip them and you'll be putting more eggs on very quickly. And so you've got the two different types of eggs, two different colors. The two best colors are going to be your reddish or your orangish colors. These are going to be what these fish are having out there in the rivers and laying. And so this is a sign of a good healthy egg, nice and bright dark orange or a dark reddish color. And you want to have them look and taste as real as possible. That's why it's important to put your stuff in there. If you want to add any other stuff to this, what I do is I go ahead and hit this with a squirt or two of garlic spray. This is what I use, or I also have a krill powder that you can sprinkle onto these. You don't have to put it in the brine. That way your brine stays neutral as one type, and this is neutral as type 1, this is type 2. Now you add stuff to it, then you can make your type 3 once you discover something that works. Okay guys, hope this helps. These are the results of our two different egg cures. I'll show you how to cure this one up as well, the softer egg. That'll be on the next episode of egg curing. This is episode 3, and this is your tackier, harder NWRK fishing egg cure for drifting and bobber fishing. Hope this helps out, you guys. Make sure you hit notifications, like and share, and make sure you follow and watch that next video when it comes out. And don't forget to give me lots of feedback. I like to see pictures, ask questions, and make comments. Have a good day, you guys. See you on the river.